The Detroit Lions have won their first playoff game in 32 years. If you're a Lions fan, which I'm sure you are, congrats. Because I'm a Lions fan as well. And my goodness, the last 24 hours for me have been probably the best feelings I've felt ever, especially about a sports team. I mean, my goodness, it feels good. It feels good to finally understand what it feels like to win in big games like that. And we're on to the divisional round. So a lot to talk about here today. This video, we're going to go through. I'm going to play some highlights starting right now. You can feel free to just watch those, mute me. I will not be offended. Or you can listen to me. I'm going to do some analysis. I'm going to talk about the good and bad of the game. I'm going to talk about some things that we need to work on and some future playoff matchups and why the Lions can win the Super Bowl, because we're looking like we could actually do it. This could be the year. I love it. This was a great game, and I'm excited to talk about it. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Let's start right now. The Detroit Lions will get the win against the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford, first game back in Detroit. We've been talking about it for weeks now, the possibility of him coming. And then, last week we find out that he actually is. And we're like, oh my God, he's coming. It's Jared Goff revenge game versus his former team that gave up on him. The team that threw him out to Detroit basically like a piece of trash and just saying, your career can go die. Detroit is where careers die. Jared Goff came here for his career to die. And instead, he knocks out the team that gave up on him in the playoffs. Now, look, it's hard to say, who won the trade. I think it was, most people say, and I agree with this, it's probably the most even trade of all time. The Rams traded for Stafford to get their Super Bowl, which they got. The Lions wanted Jared Goff so they could rebuild around another quarterback and kind of restart their process and start over. And they did that within 3 years. They have already won a playoff game. This is a rebuild that was supposed to take 5-6 years. Probably, I'd say most people expected 5 to 6 years to even make or win a Super Bowl. And we've already completed one of the, highest possible steps outside of winning the Super Bowl, which is winning a playoff game, which this team has only done one time in its existence since, the Super Bowl era. The fact that this team was able to do that, it makes me so happy, and I think it makes all of you happy as well. Let's go ahead and talk about the game itself. This offense was rolling in the first quarter. 3 straight touchdowns. It would have been 4 if the refs would have called the right. They called a false start. And this is, I want to just bring this up right now. I'm gonna start off firing all that talk. I see it in Instagram comments, YouTube, like, oh, the refs gave the Lions the win. Bullshit. I watched so many times where the refs were screwing the Lions, including that false start, which is probably the worst call of them all. I mean, the Lions' offense was rolling. It was 4th down. They drew them off sides. And with that, they would have had a first down at the 40-yard line of the Rams, and they would have continued moving the ball down the field. And they would have probably gotten, at minimum, 3 points, probably would have gotten another 7, and that would have basically, sealed the game for the Lions. So you want to sit here and say that the refs missed 2 holding calls on Puka Nacua? Okay. Those were controversial calls. Those calls could go either way. If I was the ref, maybe I'd call that. If maybe they didn't see it. Maybe in real time, it didn't look like that. You don't know. Because guess what? That last one, Puka Nacua could have caught. That wasn't a pass interference. That one earlier, Kirby Joseph was making a play on the ball. He never even touched him. And then Vildor was also making a play on the ball, and he got pushed by the actual receiver. And he was going for the ball. You want to sit here and blame refs? Go for it. If it makes you feel better. The Lions were getting screwed by the refs more than the Rams. So, eat that. Anyway. Lions offense was rolling. They slowed down a little bit midway through the 3rd, and then, the 4th. They didn't really do much, but their defense did step up. I mean, their defense was pretty abysmal the whole game, let's be honest. I mean, they gave up, close to, I think, 450 yards, something like that. I think Stafford had close to 400, and I think they had a few more rushing as well. Kyren Williams really never got going, which I kind of expected that. He did have 2 good runs. Other than that, he didn't really do anything, which I expected. I knew our defense would step up in the run game, but it's the secondary, right? It's the secondary that's going to probably be the end of us. And if that secondary can just step up for the rest of the season and, we start forcing more turnovers, because we didn't have a single turnover last game and we won. And why did we win? What were my 3 keys to success that if you saw my last video, by the way, all 3 of my, the reasons why the Lions would win were correct. So I think you guys should just start listening to me more. But I'm just saying. But anyway, my 3 keys to success: don't turn the ball over, win the turnover battle, stop their weapons, defense holding to 20 or less. We did not do that. Technically, we won the turnover battle because we didn't turn the ball over. So we did that. And number 3 was the offense moving the ball down the field, not slowing on drives. and scoring touchdowns and getting points whenever we could. And we did that pretty well. I'll give that a check mark. But really, I mean, the defense, when you look at it, like, we gave up a shit ton of yards because they would start from the 20 and make it all the way down to the 10. And then our defense would hold them to a field goal. They did that 3 times. 3 times in the red zone, the Rams could not get a touchdown. And that was the difference of the game. The defense holding them to those field goals was the reason that we won this game. Without even one of those, the Lions might have lost this game. The Lions offense kind of, it started not playing. The offensive line was giving up. Goff was under pressure left and right. He couldn't really get any good passes off. Goff was like 5 of 5 to start the game, 110 yards. I think in the first half he was like 15 of 16 in like 200 yards. Like, it was like as good of a first half as you could possibly get from him. I mean, near perfect. And then, and plus he had a touchdown, and then it kind of changed. And yeah, I mean, we just need to be better offensively. But looking at the bright side, the offense was great. The defense made plays when they needed to, right? They didn't force any turnovers, but they stopped them. They held them to a punt there at the end of the game. The defense won us that game in the end. Technically, the offense did. I mean, they got the first downs when need be, but that's what you expect from the offense. And the offense did win us this game. But the defense also made basically the game-winning stop. We accepted that holding penalty, and I didn't really agree with that, and I was pretty worried. And then, obviously the great no pass interference call helped us win that, which, in my opinion, again, was not a pass interference in the first place. So it was a good no call. I liked it. They were letting him play. It was good. I liked it. But we won. We won the game. We're on to the divisional round. Some of the negative sides, like I said, the secondary really the only one. I think the offense needs to continue rolling. I think, we hit third quarter. I mean, we've been a really bad third quarter team all year. We need to start getting better in the third quarter. And second half as well, we need to be better. But on the divisional round, we're going to play the winner of the Bucs-Eagles. I'd rather play the Bucs. We've already beaten them. I would feel a lot more confident. The Eagles could tear us up in the secondary, right? Jalen Hurts could throw all over us, run all over us. Baker Mayfield, I feel a lot more confident about him in a team we've already beaten. But my goodness, does it not feel good, Detroit? On to the divisional round. Let's go. Bucs or Eagles? We'll find out. I'll find out at least soon. You guys probably already know. But I do appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm going to try and get a ton more videos coming out about the Lions. We'll see how they do this week. I'll have my 3 reasons the Lions will beat whoever. I'll have that coming out, and I'll do some other stuff as well for the Lions. And like I said, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed that win as much as I did. Have a good one, guys. Peace.